a fantastic play by Vittoria Capola, and what she's dealing with here is the kind of not talked about history of women in conflict and their roles within conflict throughout history and in different parts of the world. She has really meticulously selected different wars and dealt with how women have been both perceived and what their reality was, so kind of giving voice to what has not been talked about. So we end up with this caricatured interpretation of what a woman is by ignoring the fact that there are women with arms, you know, in many conflicts around the world.
Snapped bones sticking out of the leg, broken, but there was no one around. So she just dragged herself back to her tent to get help, and then when help did arrive, she was like, flesh wound.
That's fortitude, not empathy.
Maybe the word I'm looking for is insane. Russians are insane.
Now you're just being xenophobic.
So about 3 years ago, Lisa Fitzpatrick, Dr. Lisa Fitzpatrick from the University of Ulster, started talking to me about research she's been working on for years and years, which was about the representation of rape on stage, and how that we looked at non-gratuitous physical violence, particularly around narratives to do with women. And then when I look back at the back catalogue of Kibosh work, we realised we hadn't addressed women in violence. And so out of that then, we started considering how would we go about it, making sure, as I said, that it's not parochial. And so I spoke at a conference with some Colombian academics that were talking about the re-assimilation of FARC combatants back into society post the conflict in Colombia, and how that relates particularly to women and the impact of war on women. And then out of that we became aware of other people's work, and so then I spoke to Vittoria Capola, a playwright from here, and she was involved in the Week in the Feminist movement with me in the North. I knew she was very active in looking at feminist culture, looking at I suppose contemporary narratives that would take that would be influenced by using the Greek classic form. So you look at epic tales, you look at the concept of the chorus, so you look at the idea of the voyeur and the active participant. And I'd worked with Vittoria before, and I spoke to her about the concept of the play. She started doing interviews with some people. We met with people from the Red Cross, we met with people from the Anti-Poverty Network. We got involved with, as I said, academics from all over the world. We did some work with the British Council. And then out of that then, this is 3 years ago, Vittoria started trying to work on the play.
The fun, the laughter, the off-colour jokes, the bawdy songs.
You know, inevitably, all of us that are working on this are working on it because it's a story we feel passionately about, and we want to serve the narrative, but also we want to serve the victims that, yes, as you say, have shared their stories, but also we want to assist people in hearing those stories for the first time.
My name is Teresa Volkova. I am a cellist, talented. Chosen to go to the conservatory in Moscow. My mother hated that I play.
Such an unladylike instrument, the straddling of it.
I hold the cello like someone is dying in my arms.